Democrats is all about. And at some point in this process, there were some people who had a little doubt. There were some people who said that somehow we Democrats didn't have any energy. I have a feeling we Democrats have plenty of energy. I want to thank each and every one of you because you never gave up. You always had faith. You worked hard. Thousands of people like you, from Alamosa to Greeley, to Cortez, to the Eastern Plains, to Denver, to Arapahoe, you walked door to door. You made phone calls. You registered record numbers of new voters. And at the end of the day, you got people out to vote, and we Now we won't go over the history of this election. You know it well. I only have one request, and that is, number one, let us celebrate tonight. Let's celebrate tonight a well-won victory for America. A well-won victory for Colorado. A decisive return of the Democratic Party to the Colorado House of Representatives. A retention of the Colorado Senate. And we still have a Democratic governor. So when people look across the West and they see the new Colorado, and they see the new Democratic Party, they see the future of our country. And you are that future. And the last thing I want to say is you have a lot of great people up here and they're the elected officials. I'm simply a national co-chair. The last thing I want to say is this. Tomorrow morning, when you see your coworkers, when you see your friends, when you see perhaps some family members who supported Mr. Romney, I would like for all of us to say this was a hard-fought campaign. We all played by the rules, and while we Democrats were victorious, tomorrow we come together as America. With all of our friends, whether Republicans or independents, to move our nation forward. It will be up to all of us to work with every member of Congress, Democrat, Republican, and independents, and pressure them
2010 when all things seemed bad for Democrats, we learned that when we work together, side by side, and we knock on doors, neighbor to neighbor, and call our friends, we can elect Democrats in a year that is not necessarily friendly to Democrats. And we proved it. Senator Michael Bennett.
Hey, I'm just going to say a couple of words because, like Federico, I was a national co-chair of this campaign. We had two from Colorado. I wouldn't have had that opportunity if we had won this race in 2010. And when the national reporters asked me all summer, was President Obama going to win Colorado, I would say, yeah. And they would say, how can you be so sure? And I would say, because if I could get elected in 2010, certainly he could be elected in 2010. These pundits continue to fail to understand is that when they're talking about Colorado, they're reckoning with you. This election, if there was ever an election that was a testament to hard work, to shoe leather, to talking to your friends and neighbors, to never ever giving up, it is this election all across the country. And begin to forge a bipartisan coalition to deal with the work that's in front of us. To ask ourselves, is what we're really doing more or less likely to help our kids and our grandkids? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. We don't care if it's a Republican idea, we don't care if it's a Democratic idea, but we know this, we've got the right guy in the White House. But I gotta say, we owe this campaign team, the campaign staff,